Now here's two drugs that have long been considered therapeutic. Two antivirals with long-established, well-documented histories with anti-malarial and anti-inflammatory effects. Hydroxychloroquine, colloquially known as Plaquenil, and ivermectin. In spite of ongoing debates, proponents argue that the early intervention with these drugs can reduce disease progression and improve patient outcomes. HCQ is an anti-malarial with a long-established history. It was first approved by the FDA in 1955. It's derived from quinine, which notably was used during the War of Independence to treat George Washington's troops on the battlefield. HCQ works by impairing the endosomal transfer of virions within human cells, blocking the SARS-CoV-2 virus from replicating. It's also called a zinc ionophore, meaning that it helps transport zinc into cells. While QT prolongation, a heart rhythm issue, is a rare complication, the risk is minimal. We're talking 1%, guys. And no significant safety concerns have been raised in clinical trials. However, patients with pre-existing heart conditions should be monitored closely. The typical dosage is 200 milligrams twice a day for 5 days, though treatment can be extended for persistent symptoms. Research suggests that timing is crucial. When used late in the course of COVID-19 or for short durations, HCQ appears ineffective. However, when used early in outpatient settings, HCQ can reduce the progression of the disease, prevent hospitalizations, and is associated with lower mortality. A retrospective study of 2,541 hospitalized patients showed that HCQ significantly reduced mortality rates. HCQ alone reduced the rates by 66% when combined with the antibiotic azithromycin, a wide-spectrum antibiotic. It reduced mortality by 71%, and these findings underscore the potential benefits of early intervention. Now, ivermectin has demonstrated antiviral properties by inhibiting viral replication in COVID-19. It blocks the SARS-CoV-2 RNA polymerase, disrupting the virus's ability to multiply within host cells. Several global trials have explored ivermectin's efficacy. In the DAX, for example, a trial combining ivermectin and doxycycline showed that 61% of patients recovered early with better outcomes than the control group receiving standard treatment. The Egyptian study found that prophylactic ivermectin use resulted in only 7.4% of healthcare workers developing COVID-19. Now compare that to 58.4% in the control group. In Argentina, a study showed no COVID-19 cases in the ivermectin group, while 11% of the standard care group tested positive. Some trials were criticized for not adhering to the gold standard of randomized, double-blind trials. However, proponents argue that ivermectin's safety profile justifies further exploration, especially resource-limited settings. Ivermectin has a strong safety record with mild side effects such as nausea, dizziness, and fatigue. In the rare case of overdose, symptoms include numbness and difficulty maintaining balance, but these effects generally are not too severe. While both HCQ and ivermectin have been used for decades with well-established safety profiles, their roles in COVID-19 treatment remain contentious. Early treatment seems to be a key factor in determining their effectiveness, with studies showing reduced progression of disease and lower mortality rates when administered at the onset of symptoms. Both drugs have been criticized for not meeting strict clinical trial standards, but their global accessibility and low cost make them attractive options for further research, particularly in under-resourced areas. Ultimately, the NIH and other health organizations maintain that more data is needed to definitively recommend these drugs for widespread use against COVID-19. However, the available evidence suggests that these drugs, especially when used early in the disease course, may offer hope in mitigating the impact of COVID-19, particularly in settings with limited access to vaccines or other advanced treatments.